Okay, so this video is on how to properly breathe and engage pelvic floor and deep core in order to have a flat stomach as you engage and do any exercise, but especially a core move, and how to prevent that lower belly pooching from happening, which causes lots of downward pressure and can actually really cause pelvic floor symptoms down the road, as well as perpetuate some lower diastasis, and really just that look of like a pooch down there in your belly. And obviously, if you're a woman watching this and you feel like, well, but that's like my uterus and like my organs and like all that stuff. Yes, absolutely. But what I'm talking about and why I'm making this video is for those of you who will take a photo with an engaged low abdomen and it looks like you have a pooch, lower belly pooch. Even when you're engaged versus when you're relaxed, or maybe even when you're engaged, your lower belly pooches out more than it does when you're relaxed. Those are telltale signs right there that you're not engaging properly. And one of the biggest cues I hear over and over again in the fitness industry and in every single group fitness class there is belly button to spine, belly button to spine. Well, there's an issue with that because your belly button, I have a really short waist, but your belly button is actually like in the middle of your six-pack, okay? Here's your abdominal wall. Belly button's right here. This is the lower part of your abdominal wall, okay? So these are your TAs, transverse abdominis. These are your lower TAs, middle TAs, where your belly button is, and then upper TAs. So if you're just thinking belly button to spine every time you engage, then you're only really engaging the middle TAs and maybe some upper, and then your lower TAs are just completely relaxed. Pressure is pushing down into them, and that's why it causes that pooch appearance. So that is not what we want. So we're gonna practice that real quick. Let's go ahead and lay down on your back and place your hands around your rib cage, close your eyes, and I want you to take deep breaths in through your nose and feel the expansion of your ribs moving into your hands, up towards the ceiling, out towards the sides of the room, and then back down towards the floor. Don't worry about what kind of exhale it is right now. Just exhale naturally through your nose, but that big diaphragmatic breath in through the nose is what I want you to focus on right now. And also make sure that your spine is neutral. You're not jamming your low back into the mat, but it's also not this big arch. So make sure your back is just flat and pelvis isn't tucking under, but it's also not arched. Big breath into the ribs. You should feel the ribs really push out into your hands in the fingers, the palm, and the thumbs, because the thumbs are on the back. So full 360-degree expansion. One more. Good, okay. And if you're not feeling 360-degree expansion, that is a video for another day, but it could mean that you need to work on like lateral expansion, so just practicing breathing into the side body. It could mean working on back expansion, so practicing breathing into the back body. Or really no one ever needs help with front expansion, but if you do, you could work on that too. So once you have the 360 breath down, do it again and think about the pelvic floor opening and relaxing on your inhale. One more time. Do you feel that relaxation down in your pelvic floor? If not, keep thinking about it, keep practicing it. Also note that as I'm breathing, it's not a belly breath, even though they call it that. Belly breathing would mean all of our air is going into our belly, and that is not what we want. We want it to go out and around into our ribs, and of course some natural overflow does go into the chest. It's not the same as breathing up into your chest, neck, and shoulders. We still want the shoulders staying down and relaxed and the neck nice and loose, but as you inhale, you'll feel the ribs expand first, and then the overflow goes a little into the belly and a little into the chest. That's completely normal. Your lungs are up in your chest as well. So, okay, from here, big breath into the ribs, out through the mouth, like you're blowing out a birthday candle. And as you do that, start to gently pull the pelvic floor up. Pretend you're, there's a bunch of different ones. Pretend you're sucking up a blueberry through your vagina. Inhale, let it all go and relax. Do it again. Audible exhale, pull that blueberry up your vagina, and then you can start to get the low abs on board. Okay, so on this next exhale, I want us to pull pelvic floor up first, and then pull the lower TAs up, and then the middle, and then the upper. Big breath in. Audible exhale, pelvic floor, slow abs, middle, upper. And we're gonna do a couple cues for this, okay? So take the diaphragmatic breath, big breath in. Audible exhale, pull the blueberry up your vagina. Then you've got a zipper, and we're gonna zip up a tight pair of jeans starting at the lower where your pubic bone is, then the middle where your belly button is, and then the upper. You should feel that engagement. Visibly draw that zipper up, okay? Literally take your hand and put it on your lower abs and slowly zip it up as you're exhaling, and keep your eyes closed for this. One more time, big inhale. Exhale. Pelvic floor first. Zip. Good. Do you feel that difference? You should feel a super flat stomach. I'm not talking about any fat that's on there. I'm just talking about, as far as engagement, it should feel flat. Let's do one more cue for this that might resonate with others a little bit better. It really just depends on the person. So big inhale. Exhale. Pelvic floor pulls up and in first. Then hands on the hip bones. Think about wrapping those lower ab muscles together and around, just like a corset, okay? Like it's medieval times, or you've got a waist trainer on, okay? That's present day, but you've got a corset wrapped around your abdomen, and that's what I want you to visualize, and literally take your hands and wrap them around the lower abdominals as you exhale. So big breath in. Exhale. Pelvic floor up. Wrap those lower, middle, and upper TAs. Right now, we're really just thinking about how they run horizontally. We're not really thinking about like the lower, middle, and uppers, but sometimes that wrapping cue really helps people as well. So thinking about drawing those hip bones closer together, okay? Big inhale. Let it all go and relax. Okay, so practice both of those and notice if you're feeling the lower TAs engage, because those are the ones that are dormant that we really want to turn on. And starting with the most basic of moves to test this out and start to build strength here, making sure once again your back is flat, maybe slightly tucked if you need that extra help. Sometimes that feedback of a tucked pelvis can help when the lower TAs are checked out, but it's not something I want to cue you on forever because it is a little bit of a crutch, a little bit of cheating. You can also put some towel rolls underneath your lower back to help with that same kind of facilitating a slight tuck at the pelvis. So neutral spine, diaphragmatic breath. As you engage, you're going to draw knee in towards the chest and your hands on your lower abs. Inhale, return foot to the ground. Re-engage. Exhale, the other knee comes up. This is very easy, okay? But I want you to do it until you feel the burn. And if you think about moving your legs as if they were stuck in mud, heavy, sticky mud, move them through space with resistance. You can create your own mechanical tension, okay? Maybe you get here and you press the opposite hand into the knee and create some external feedback while that other hand is on the lower abs. And you're thinking, your eyes are closed, and you're thinking and feeling those lower abs turning on as you very hard press that hand into that knee. And just stay here and breathe. Those audible exhales, making a like a snake or a shh or a So you should feel that. Hopefully by now, I'm starting to feel it. So putting it all together here, let's see if we can go up into a tabletop position without the lower abs pooching out. So breath in. Engage pelvic floor, lower, middle, upper TAs. Bring both knees up into tabletop. I've got one hand on my lower belly to feel if my low abs pooched out as I brought my knees up. If you need to redo that and make sure that your hand's on your belly, do it. My lower abs are drawing in right now. What are yours doing? Okay? If they're not drawing in, you'll feel pressure pushing out versus pulling in. And if you're filming yourself, you could see a visible pooch if you're not engaged, okay? So start there. Once again, it is not the belly button pulling in a spine. The lower abs have to fire first. And the last thing I'm going to say about this is sometimes this also can coincide with ab gripping, upper ab gripping. So the simplest thing you could do, literally, I'll just do it if I'm feeling kind of grippy, which it's rare, but sometimes with kids and stuff, you just assume this posture. If I'm sitting watching a movie and I'm bored, or when I'm in the shower, I will literally just take my upper abdominals, okay, right here, and I will just start to pull on them. And it's like a little poor man's massage. And as silly as this might look or sound, like this is too good to be true, it's not. If you went to a pelvic floor PT or any physical therapist, they would also suggest this most likely, because this, or even the addition of a cupping kit, super cheap, like $15 off Amazon. They're like those little silicone clear cups, right? And you just get them wet, and you could scoop and then pull, scoop and pull. And what you're doing is myofascial release on the sometimes overly tight fascia that gets bound down. So that is another tip for the trade. Okay, that's it, you guys.